insider for so long, yet you've been vocal for so long. I mean, how challenging is it to see your colleagues across Hollywood lacking for the Obama administration when they have so much power and influence that they could single-handedly shape the dialogue when so many people are watching them?
Well, I think that, you know, this is a culture of fear, and nobody's more afraid than people in Hollywood. They're afraid that they'll drop out of the top, you know. They're afraid that they'll drop from the bottom of the pyramid, maybe to the middle of the pyramid. But, you know, they're the ones, Hollywood is the one that keeps all this power structure and all this culture of racism and sexism and classism and genderism and all of it in place. They continually feed it, and they make a lot of money doing it. And they do it at the behest of their masters who run everything. So, you know, they're not going to get brave enough to do that. I mean, I think that there aren't many of us who are brave enough to do that. And I'm just, you know, I'm lucky that I can do it, and I feel that I do it on behalf of many people in Hollywood too. I go to Hollywood parties, or, you know, occasionally I go to Oscar parties and things like that, and people, big stars, people will grab me by the arm and take me aside and say, "I just want to thank you for the things you say." And it blows my mind, but that's the culture. It's a culture of fear for sure. You know,
the walk I took on the grassy knoll was a suggestion to first to people that evolving takes a lot of bravery, because I was petrified when I did that. Peeling back layers of things that we've learned and separating ourselves from the group is also horrifying, because we're afraid of being ostracized and assassinated by the group if we have our own thoughts and our own mind and our own will and our own direction. And that's one thing that scares us a lot, and at the same time it's the same thing that holds us back as a race of people on this planet a lot. Groupthink is actually the term that I was protesting. It was a performance art.
They play it safe, are quick to assassinate what they do not understand. They move in packs, ingesting more and more fear with every act of hate on one another. They feel most comfortable in groups, less guilt to swallow.
You know, and it's a big culture of mind control too. MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it.
Well, we've talked about Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra mind control stuff from, I mean, this goes back decades and decades. But Roseanne, I mean, do you know people have been blacklisted? I mean, is it just kind of a self-censorship in Hollywood, or do people actually get edged out if they are too much against the grain?
Yeah, it's self-censorship after a while, but it's not just a crazy self-censorship. It's self-censorship because there's actually a danger that you will never work again. And people know it. Everybody has friends that it happened to, that maybe you said too much, or maybe you were too vocal on unpopular issues. And it's funny because it doesn't matter if 2 years later, I find this a lot, that 2 years later those unpopular issues become very mainstream. They still don't forgive the first person who does it. And that's kind of been my story there. When you're first, you're you know, going to be vilified, despite the fact that 2 years later everybody's saying what you said. You're still going to be vilified because you dared. And you know, like they say, the Chinese, you know, the Chinese have a myth or a saying that says the nail that stands up is hammered down, and that's how it is here and everywhere in the world. Right. You know, you don't really want to put yourself at odds with people who decide your future and pay, you know, for your work. But sometimes you have to. And I was very lucky that I had a successful show that made me a lot of money, and so that I can do that. And I feel that I owe that to the people I I came from to say those things that maybe they can't say because they're afraid they'll be fired, or they're afraid even that they'll be put in jail or whatever. I'm going to do it because why not?
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us. Yeah. But now it's not necessary for us to store up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. Right. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
All right.
Fantasia Barrino, American Idol winner, season 3. She was a huge name a couple of years ago. Look, she has a reality show. She's still singing, has another album coming out. But here's what you need to know today. She is expected to be released from this hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was rushed there Monday after overdosing aspirin, sleeping aid. In fact, we've now turned this sound around. This is the 911 call that this caller made talking about Fantasia. She was ODing, talking about how she was losing consciousness. Here it is.
Tell me exactly what happened.
An individual took a bottle of aspirin, and she's slowly losing consciousness.
So,
Larry King invited me on his show. And Larry King's a pretty freaking powerful guy. I mean, who can bully Larry King, right? Unless there's somebody super, super elite to the point where they threatened Larry King. Who threatens Larry King? He's the man. They threatened Larry King and threatened to sue him and lose his job if he indeed went through and allowed me to come on his show. Wow. So that must mean somebody very, very, very powerful, which I know who it is very scared of me. And apparently they're very powerful because they have control over Larry King and everybody else. So my point is,
the Jackson family, so Michael Jackson's mother Catherine, and where Paris Jackson lives with her brother and sister. That happened in the early hours of the morning. And they say a minor was treated and taken to hospital. Some of those confirmations coming from the sheriff and the fire department talking about a possible overdose. And Debbie Rowe, who is Paris Jackson's mother, has confirmed to a TV program here, Entertainment Tonight, that it was a suicide attempt, as she understands it, but there has been no other confirmation other than that.
Amanda Bynes showing signs of schizophrenia. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I have new details surrounding Amanda Bynes' 5150 psychiatric hold. TMZ reports that Amanda has been showing signs of schizophrenia. Medical examiners who have been watching Amanda closely have asked for a 2-week extension to continue their evaluation just to make sure that she's accurately diagnosed. Sources are also saying that Amanda's parents are seeking a conservatorship from the judge, similar to what Britney Spears' dad did a few years back. They're saying that Amanda is unable to care for herself and could be dangerous to others. Amanda's parents have